Okay, so hi and good afternoon, everyone. I would like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to our first series of 4C, How to Seamlessly Begin Machine Data Collection. Okay, so just to go through the agenda, I'm doing the opening and then upcoming over the next hours, we will have Mr. Shafiq, our application engineer, to share Advantech data collection devices solution and success stories. Then it will be this Q&A session and closing and announcement for upcoming webinars. But just to let you know that beyond the presentations, I encourage each and every one of you to actively participate, ask questions, and engage in discussions, even during the presentation. Your contribution is going to make this webinar truly dynamic and enriching. So don't hesitate to share your thoughts, raise queries, or provide your perspective throughout the sessions. Okay, so I will begin with the introduction of Advantech. So first of all, I would like to introduce more on Advantech briefly. Advantech is initially established in 2000 and over the years we have been growing. The office has been expanded in 2012 and then 2020. We have established our software team, which is Advantech Wise IoT team to support our Asian business. Then on 2022, we have built up our local repair services center at Penang with better customers support for local and Asian. So last year we have opened our service center expansion as seen in the video as well. And then in this year, January 2024, we had our ASSC opening as Asian Hub. This is the video that we have presented earlier. And then just to inform you, upcoming on 2028, we are still in planning to open our own Asian manufacturing site in Malaysia. Okay. So Advantech focuses on diverse industry as seen in this slide, which is smart factory, machinery, power and energy, AI, signage, transportation, automotive, healthcare, agriculture, toll collection system, and more. Okay. Okay, so this is our Advantech ASEAN Shared Service Center. This is the one that we just opened in January 2024, which is the video shown earlier. Okay, so this is a brief introduction of the space of how our space look like. So that is our demo, our Wise IoT demo room, our training facilities, and our regional repair services support center, our CTOS assembly, and also our IR 4.0 software development center. Okay, so this is Advantech, how Advantech looks like in Penang, Malaysia. Okay, so this is just to inform everyone that we actually had a webinar on 6 March to explain on this 4C strategy in Industry 4.0. So 4C strategy consists of collect, connect, compute, and cloud. And today we are joined together for the first series of the 4C strategy, which is collect. Okay, so in collect, so upcoming Shafiq will share more on Advantech wireless I/O solution sensors, remote I/O, EtherCAT I/O system, and gateway and RTUs. So Shafiq, I pass the floor to you. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shafiq, application engineer of Malaysia, Advantech Malaysia. So without further ado, I will start my presentation on the Advantech data collection device solution. So here is my content for today. I will explain a little bit on what is the data collection and the importance of it. Then I will also introduce to you on what is the Advantech product that we have so that we can help you on your application. Last, I will also show to you the comparison table of all the solution that I just shared. What is a data collection? The data collection is all about gathering, measuring, and also on how to analyze the data. Okay, the final goal is whether we can make decision making in order to improve our production or reduce the waste or in also increase the overall productivity. So as for today, I will present to you, I will share to you on this four group. The first one will be the remote I/O solution. Then the second will be the wireless I/O solution. The third will be the data acquisition solution. And then the lastly will be the control I/O solution. So the remote I/O solution, okay, with our modern and compact function design. So we have our ADAM remote I/O modules. So they have been in the market for quite some years. So with the latest technology updates such as RFID and USB, customer user can have additional option for configuration and on and inspection. So we also have our ADAM internet-based remote I/O, so that can use OPC Profinet, MQTT, and so on. So I would like to start my presentation today is the problem statement for one of our customer. So first of all, they would like for us to monitor the temperature of the machines, but then there are quite a lot of machine at their plants, and then all the machines are scattered around at their plant, and then it is quite far to the server room. So currently, what they did is they manually go to each machines and then take take the temperature by handwritten and then key in manually into the server PC itself. So what can Advantech helps to reduce all this troublesome traditional way. So first, I would like to introduce our ADAM 4000 and ADAM 4100 series. So basically, our ADAM 4000 series is the RS4F5 IO models. So we have such a vast variety of applications. So we have a thermocouple input module, PID control module, and also digital input and relay and counter modules. So if you want to talk on the RS for F5 series, so the advantages of using the RS for F5, it can go up to 1.2 kilometer, the distance itself. And then our ADAM 4000 and 4100 is using the Modbus RTU, which is quite common in the market. So the features of our ADAM 4000 and 4100 is quite suitable for industrial. It can withstand up to 70 and 95 degrees, depend on where you use it, where you store it. So it can work smoothly under harsh environment. Secondly, I would like to introduce on the ADAM 6000 and ADAM 6200, which is our uh, Internet I/O modules. This one is using the LAN cable, whereas just now is using RS-Wi-Fi. The features have five features. So the first one will be the GCL, which is a graph control logic. So inside here have a immediate interaction, immediate I/O interaction, and then we can set 16 to 36 logic control. We can use either AND, NAND, or gate to use the programming. So inside there is no programming, just the GCL itself. Then we have the peer-to-peer function. So means that the ADAM 6000 can react with another ADAM 6000 without using any controller. So we can send the data from ADAM to ADAM seamlessly. So another one is the built-in web server. So this one we can if we can know the IP of the ADAM, we can just type it and then we can see all the configuration of the ADAM itself. And then the group configuration is where we can set all the ADAM 6000 configuration by a group, so no need to do the setting one by one. So we can do the system configuration file, firmware file, HTML file. So we can do all of it by group. Can be done by only one click. The last is I recall is the daisy chain features, whereas it's only come with ADAM 6200, where our ADAM 6200 have two LAN ports. So by using this ADAM 6200, we can loop the ADAM with each other. So you no need to use the internet switch to connect with ADAM 6000. So come to our problem statement again. So the customer would like to monitor the temperature of the machines. Then there are a lot of machines. So how how are we going to solve it? So usually we will like to ask back the customer a few questions. So the first that we will ask is check is what is the data type that they want to use. So whether is it going using a digital input or analog input itself, or how many channels that they need for each machine, so that we can cater for Adam for one Adam to each machine. So and then we also can check what is the system distance between the machines to the server room. Is it below 100 or is it more than 100 meter? Is it 500 meter? We need to check on the distance. And then what is the preferred interface that they would like for us to propose to them? So after we already check with them, they would like to have the thermocouple data types, 6 channels per machine, and then the distance is not that high, which is only 50 meter. Then they will like to use the LAN cable as their interface. So after going through all this interview session with the customer, so we can come up with the Adam 6018, which is the 8 channel thermocouple input. So, but then Adam 6018 does not have a 2 LAN port, only have one. So we need to use our internet port switch. And then from there, we can directly connect to the server without using the LAN. So by doing this way, the customer can monitor all the temperature of the machines, and then all the data can be stored inside the server PC according to the cycle that they want. So in short, so our Adam 4000 is using the remote I/O wired. Same goes to the Adam 6000 is a wired based remote I/O. But then the difference is the Adam 4000 is using RS485, and then the protocol is Modbus, either Modbus LTE or ASCII, whereas the Adam 6000 is using RJ45, which is LAN, and then the protocol is using Modbus TCP. So the distance for Adam 4000 is 1.2 km, whereas the Adam 6000 is using 100 meter. So both of this is real time. Real time means that we can have the data instantly. Means that if we want to know the temperature right now, we can have the temperature of the machine on that moment. But then for Adam 4000 is a long distance communication where we can support 1.2 km. However, both of this is we need to cater on the wiring costs, and then we also need to do the wiring installation as well. So done on our remote I/O. Next, we go on the wireless I/O solution. So the wireless I/O solution is to monitor the wide areas. So in Advantech, we already launched a few product series, which is the Wi-Fi, 4G, Infinity, LoRa, and LoRa 1 and L1. But as for today, I will only focus on 3 group, which is the Wi-Fi, LP1, and LoRa 1. Same with the problem statement. But then this one is the customer would like to monitor the temperature of the surrounding of the factory. So they prefer wireless because they don't want to have the headache on having the wire installation and everything. And then they also would like to observe any abnormality at certain area, and if possible, they also like have alarm notification in case there is a spike in certain area. So here is our WISE wireless communication map. First, I will like to check to you on the Wi-Fi. So we have our WISE 4220 and WISE 4000. So on the Wi-Fi itself, the coverage is only can up on 100 meter. However, the data rate is quite high, which is 100 megabyte per second. And then we have our LP1 group, WISE 4210, 4610, and YNB-IoT. So this one can go up to 5 km or even more. But then the data rate is quite low, which is only 100 kilobyte per second. So there is a pro and cons using each of these groups. Okay, without further ado, I will share to you on the WISE 4000 series. So basically, there are 3 main features that I would like to highlight on our WISE 4000 series. First is the wireless. We have a vast wireless I/O modules, so LTE, NB-IoT, LoRaWAN, Wi-Fi, and everything. And then second is the device to cloud. Our WISE 4000 series support sending data to public cloud or private cloud via MQTT or Core apps. Next is the customized I/O. So based on the requirement that we receive, we can customize the specific IO. We can adjust the how many DI, how many DO. Is it the customer need RS.5 to insert the sensor and everything. So we can customize according to the user scenario. Okay, so here is what our WISE 4000 will looks like. So the upper part here, okay, is the body of the WISE, whereas the bottom part is the IO. So as you can see here, what I meant by customized IO, where user can have the flexible IO solutions by changing the bottom part here. So the bottom part is the IO, you can interchange accordingly. So based on the application, we can interchange the IO based on the user's application. Okay, so as mentioned, I will only present three groups of wireless. The first one is the Wi-Fi, second is everyone, and then the third one is LoRaWAN. So Wi-Fi, the advantages is it's a real time, higher data rate, and also well established. But then the distance is only 100 meter, and then there's also crowded, means that only a short range, and then using quite a lot of battery life. Then second is the LP1. So LP1, the advantages, it can have a better penetration compared to the Wi-Fi. It can also support a long range. Means the one that we test is 3 km line of sight. And then it's also support the battery. So you can use the battery powered. But then the disadvantage is not real time, and then we cannot have a higher data rate. Okay, for LoRaWAN, you can go up until 15 km line of sight. So you can have a long range. It's also use a battery life. And then the confirm data means the data, we can have the confirm data to the gateway. But then the disadvantage is not real time, and then it's not a higher data rate. So I believe everyone is familiar with the Wi-Fi. It's the everyday use technology. However, but then the disadvantage of Wi-Fi is the distance is only 100 meters, so we need to adjust according to the application itself. So basically, our Wi-Fi series is only support for 2.4 gigahertz. So then the data storage can means that if there is any disconnection between the WISE and then to the AP, we can have data storage at the WISE up to 10,000 km samples of data storage that can be stored inside the WISE. And then we have the cloud storage. And then for the Modbus LTO means that our WISE we can attach to the sensor that support the Modbus LTO, and then we can make the sensor to send the data wirelessly. And then for the Modbus TCP means that the master or the AP can get the data from the WISE 4000 series by pulling, means that the master of the Modbus TCP can pull the data from WISE 4000 series. So but then the node itself we cannot have the auto pushing. So next I will present on the LP1. So the LP1 is battery, we can use a battery base. So you don't need to headache on the power itself. So it can fix any facility installation. So because of I have a more distance, and then you can use the indoor more than the Wi-Fi. But then the distance can only up until TCAM. But so our LP1 solution, we can have 64 nodes for one AP. Next, I will present on the LoRaWAN. So LoRaWAN, we can have the distance we have 5 to 15 km. So 2 to 5 km in urban area, whereas on the 50 km is the suburban eastern line of sight. So it only use the low power consumption, use the AES-128 encryption for the security, low cost because we don't need to have the wiring, and then the low bandwidth means that the data that we can send is only a small data. Okay, next is our WISE 4610 combination, mean that this one is the node of our LoRaWAN. So we can have the rechargeable battery inside. So we can power by using two ways, either using a solar or battery. So the down here is the interchangeable IO. We have S672, SX614. So we can change it accordingly. Okay. Next is the WISE 2200M, which is our LoRaWAN RS Wi-Fi module. So this one is basically converting the RS Wi-Fi sensor to the LoRaWAN sensor. Means that we can attach this WISE to the sensor and then we can send it via LoRaWAN. So by using the LoRaWAN advantages, we can have range up to 15 km line of sight. So using a standard protocol, which is a Modbus RTU, with the max of 128 address and 30 row settings. It's also use the AES 128 division for the security. And then we can also have the plug and play, means that we can all the configuration, we can just use it via USB and then we can do all the configuration itself. So next we will have our new EVA series. So EVA 2210, EVA 2510, EVA 2310. So EVA 2210 is our phase current meter for energy management application. So user can use this device to get the current value for each of their specific equipment. So we can know how many energy that the equipment has been used for day or week. We can have all the data by using this sensor. Next is EVA 2510, which is a water leakage detection sensor. So this one they are targeting to deploy this sensor in a cooling system or HVAC system, especially around the area of residential or commercial building. Okay. Next is EVA 2310, which is on the right side here. So it's a temperature and humidity sensor. So it will suitable for smart agriculture, smart home, cold change management, and data centers, etc. So if user have some critical event that requires for temperature and humidity monitoring, such as like temperature amber or cold change management itself, so we can use this with our gateway. We can send the data via LoRaWAN. Okay, next is our Y6610, which is our LoRaWAN gateway. So this one we can have a Wi-Fi link inside there. It also support a lot of kind of the cloud. So inside here we can user can have the expand functionality of node RED inside here. You can install the node RED inside here, and then you can use the dashboard, the simple dashboard via node RED inside the Y6610. So next is the LoRaWAN frequency. We have the packet forward network server, and then we also support quite a lot of frequency to support all the globe. So coming back to our problem segment itself, for where customer want to monitor the temperature of the surrounding factory, they prefer wireless solution, and then to observe is there any abnormality at the certain area. So usually we ask them a few questions. So what is the distance what is the distance of the factory itself? What is the space? Okay, is it more than 1 km, or is it only small span? So we need to take note on the distance. So then second is, do they need use battery, or is there any power ready at the plant itself that we can use? So then the next is they need a time data, means that they need current data, or is it possible to have a lagging data coming to the server? So after we check, we can have they want the distance is around 1 km, which blockage. So Wi-Fi is out of range already inside here. So they also need to use battery. So but then they don't need real time data, because they can have some precaution if there is abnormality. So we will propose the LP1 solution, which is our WISE 4210 S231, which is our temperature and humidity sensor. This one is using our LP1 proprietary, means this is one, the node itself need to use this WISE 4210 AP. To this node here, we send all the data to the AP. From the AP itself, we have the LAN to connect to the server. So by having this solution, customer can know each of the nodes temperature, whereas the surrounding temperature of the factory itself. Next, I will start again on the comparative table. So we have done our Adam 4000, Adam 6000, and now is our Wise 4000, which is our remote IO, but using a wireless communication. So we have a three, which we have a lot, but today I will share three, which is Wi-Fi, LP1, and LoRaWAN. The distance is quite different from each of the group, where Wi-Fi only 100 meter, the LP1 3 kilometer, and then the LoRaWAN is 15 kilometer line of sights. So the advantages of the using Wi-Fi is real times, and then for both LP1 and LoRaWAN, uh, it have a long range and a better penetration compared to the Wi-Fi itself. However, Wi-Fi, the limitation is the distance, where the distance only can cater up until 100 meter. But for LP1 and LoRaWAN, it's not real time, so there are some lagging data that we can capture. So next, I will present on the data acquisition solution. So Advantech offer a wide range of industrial data acquisition solution. We have our PCI, PCIe, DAQ cards, USB, DAQ module, modular DAC, and so that we can have a range of industrial automation in applications such as measurement, laboratory operation, machine automation, and production setting. So same, I will go through the problem statement for the data acquisition solution. So this one, we need to have I/O to control the lights of the vision system. Means that the customer itself already have the vision system. So, but then they want to have the I/O to control the I/O, and then to add the I/O, and then to control the I/O. So the vision, the system itself has already motion control ready, which is but then is using a C# language, and then preferred centralized solution means that they already have their own PC. Okay, then we just top up on the PC itself. So Advantech DAQ product, we have a quite number of group, which is the first one is the PCI and PCIe 1700 and PCIe 1800 series, which is the IO card. We also have our USB DAQ and IO modules, and we also have the IDEC series, which is this one. And then the next is embedded DAQ platform, which is MIC 1800 series, and then the last is the PCI 104 mini PCIe IO and COM card. So all of this is using our software, which is called the DAQ Navy software. So inside here we can have the Visual Basic, C++, and C#, Python. We have all the sample code ready for customer for customer development. So also, but as for today, I will share on the PCI 1700 and PCIe 1800 series. So I will start on the digital card itself. So our digital card itself, we have the digital filter. So is there we have a better filter on the input signals, and then we have an interrupt function, means that for if there any data that need the interrupt function, we can use it for faster and more flexible response. So our card, we have up to 120 channel in one card. So then the next is the isolation protection. We have the signal integrity, safety, and instrument protection. We also have surge and ESD protection to protect the circuit from electrostatic discharge. Okay, so here we also provide the DAQ Navy software, which is the SDK tool to shorten the development times. We support Windows 7, Windows 10, and Linux. We have all this sample code for C#, C++, Visual Basic, VBNet, and LabVIEW. So usually we will help customer on the execution for multi-thread programming. So here is the series of our PCI 1700. We have quite a lot of DI, DO that we can offer to customer. We have a 16 DI, 16 DO. We also have 32 DI, 32 DO. So we have all this DIQ card, which is the digital IO. So basically we can adjust according to the customer application. Next is our analog card. So we have the first features is the high speed, where the sampling rate is 125 mega sample per second. Okay, we have the resolution up to 26 bits, and then we also have synchronization, means that the we have the channel itself, we can have the either synchronized or a group on the ADC. Okay. Same goes to the uh, with the digital IO card, we have the protection on the isolation, search and ESD protection. And then we also provide all the SDK tools so that customer can have a shortened development times. So here is all the part number for each of our PCIe 18180 series. We can have 8, 4 or 8 analog input. So usually we need to ask customer what is the number of channel that they want, what is the resolution and sampling rate and so on. So coming back to the problem statements where customer want to have the IO to control the lights of the vision system, and then they also have the motion control system ready, but the motion control system is using the C# language, and then they prefer the centralized solution. So usually we will ask customer which type of card that they prefer, whether PCI or PCIe based card that we can plug into the PC. So and then the next question that we will ask how many IO channel that they want. So after we go through all these questions, okay, so we can know that they want the PCIe based card. So, and then they also want 32 channel digital IO, means that they want the 16 DI, 16 DO. So after go through all this question, we will propose the PCIe 1730H, which is the 32 channel, uh, the 32 channel isolated digital IO, which is the PCIe card, plug into the IPC, and then we can integrate it with all these vision systems. So coming back to the comparison table, so we had done the Adam 4000, which is our remote IO wired. Same goes to Adam 6000, remote IO wired product series. And then we also have done the WISE 4000, which is our remote IO, but then it's using wireless, where this one have a 3 group, which is Wi-Fi and LP1 and LP1 group. So they've also done the PCI 1700 and PCIe 1700 and 100 series, which is the using the DAQ card, which is PCI or PCI card. But then the protocol is using the proprietary, means that we need to use the driver of the card in order to use this. Okay. But so this one is a proprietary, not an open protocol. The distance is 1 to 3 meter, which terminal board. So usually our DAQ card will come with the terminal board. So the terminal board max is around 3 meter. So this one is still suitable if you have a centralized PC. But then the advantage is also real times. So the limitation is the distance, and then it's not open protocol, so you cannot integrate it with other open protocol like Modbus or anything else. Okay, so next I will present on the control IO solution. So on control IO solution, we have our EtherCAT slice IO, intelligent RTU, intelligent IO rack, and intelligent IO gateway that can have either EtherCAT for DCs or NORAD or AC. So as for today, I will present on the EtherCAT slice IO. So comes on the problem statement. So customer would like to monitor the DI and DO of the pick and place machine. Okay, they same with the previous one, but then this motion control system is using EtherCAT protocol, means that they already use the EtherCAT motor to play around with the pick and place of the machine. So they also prefer flexible IO for future modification, means that they would like to upgrade the IO in the future. So we will look at our MX 5000 series. So the first one is the first picture is the engineer friendly. So you can just remove push in terminal. So and then the front access. So basically you can just push here and then you can plug in the wire. And then the second is the dual power input, so that we can have a redundant power in case there is a power shortage on either one of the power. Then the second is the slim module. So you can see here the which is only 1.2 cm for each the size, and then it can equip more IO in a limited space. So because of the slim module, we can have more IO, so it can have a better fit in the control cabinets. Next is the intelligent function. So each of the module have the EtherCAT eBus. support different range in the module. So firmware update or IO config via the EtherCAT. So then last is the advanced DAQ. We have support basic on 100 Hz per channel, and then better resolution and advanced AD and DA technology. So next is our MX 5000 EtherCAT Slice IO module series. So we have digital input IO module, timestamp the IO module, position measurement module, EtherCAT infrastructure, temperature input module, and analog input output module. So we have all these product series that customer can choose according to the application. We have 8 or 16 DI, or same goes to the DO, 8 or 16 DI. We have the timestamp. And then for the infrastructure one, we have MX 5000 for the power input to power up all the EtherCAT slice. We have the coupler and then the extension to extend in case we need to extend so that it just cannot be in one group. We can also extend it to another group. So we also have our MX5070 is our Modbus TCP coupler. So usually the EtherCAT IO slash we will pair with this MX5580, which is our embedded automation system. So inside here we have IT information technology and information features. We can have the AQ Navy, and then we also can support the PCUA. And then on the operation technology, we have the Codices RTE, which is using IEC 611313 soft logics. So by using the EtherCAT, we can have by using the EtherCAT protocol, we can have the 100 microsecond real time smart power diagnosis and the field bus master, mean that we can also support other field bus another than EtherCAT. So come back to the control IO solutions. We would like to monitor the DI and DO of the pick and place. The motion control system is using the EtherCAT protocol. So they also want to have flexible IO so that in case they would like to have few IO adjustment in the future. So usually here are the questions that we would like to ask customer. So how many IO channel that they want? They want the fixed or flexible IO. What is the distance of the IO and then to the PC? So they say they would like to have 16 DI, 16 DO. They also would like to have flexible IO, but then the distance is around 70 meter. Okay, so after go through all the MX IO size, we can come up with these two EtherCAT remote IO, which is our MX5052, which is our 16 channel DI. And then the second also we have our MX5057, which is our 16 channel DO. So this one integrated, this one pair with the pick and place motion control where customer already have. And then this one already built in the codices to control all these application, and then can send to cloud via PCA or MQTT. So next, I already complete all this complete table. I will already have present on the Advantech 4000, which is remote IO, Modbus LTO ASCII, and then only the distance is 1.2 km. I also done the Advantech 6000 remote IO, which is using the RJ45 and support the Modbus TCP protocol. So on the wireless series, we have WISE 4000. We have Wi-Fi, everyone and LoRaWAN. They can have a different range of distance that we can cater for customer application. And then for our DAQ card, we have PCI 1700 and PCIe 1800, which is our digital IO card and analog IO card. This one is using the proprietary, which is need to have Advantech driver to use this card. And then the advantage is using a centralized, need to have a centralized PC to plug in the PC. And then another advantage is we can have a real-time data. Next is the MX5000 series, which is our remote IO size that using the RJ45, but using another protocol which is called EtherCAT. So if using RJ45, the distance is only can up until 100 meter. So the advantage is real time, so we can have real time data coming to the PC. Flexible means that we can have a flexible topology by using the EtherCAT protocol. So, but then the disadvantage is have a distance cost that we need to cater, and then we also have the wiring cost that we need to take note as well. So that's all from my part. So I pass back to Mira.
Okay, so based on Shafiq presentation, I would like to conclude that basically Advantech has a lot of I/O solutions with different protocol in order to cater to various applications that can be such as facility monitoring and machine condition monitoring, and also as Shafiq presented as well, one of our successful stories and cases that is implemented by our customers is to implement the I/O solutions into their robots as well. Okay, so the key to selecting the right wireless I/O modules is basically to narrow down your requirements and to focus on the primary criteria that really matters in your applications. I would like to inform first that we have webinars. We have two webinars, sorry, on 26 March and 27 March. So we would like to invite you to our upcoming webinars and please register to know more details of the event. Okay, so on this note, I would like to thank everyone again for willing to gather today virtually. We hope you are able to gain some insights on Advantech devices that would be beneficial for you. So thank you all and stay tuned for our upcoming webinars. If there is any questions, you can please refer to our sales or our engineers, and we will directly answer it to you. Okay, thank you.